Hi, welcome to Health Matters. I'm Sherry Gallant with Alberta Health Services, and thank you for joining us here at beautiful, sunny Nicholas Sharon Park. Today we're going to be showing you various locations in the park and telling you about some wonderful things that are available to enhance your life and help you have fun, all for free. Right now, I'm standing here with Dr. Jennifer Copeland. She's Associate Professor of Kinesiology at the University of Lethbridge, and Jennifer's done some really interesting research on parks like what we have behind us here in the background, which is a free outdoor gym. Tell us about your research, Jennifer, and welcome.
Thank you. Sure. So we've actually coined the term active park to describe this kind of outdoor fitness equipment that's actually designed for adults. So it might look like playground equipment, but it's actually adult fitness equipment. There's actually this equipment in a number of different parks in the city, and we were always interested in whether or not people actually use them. So along with some community partners, the Healthy Lethbridge Association and the City of Lethbridge, and some colleagues of mine in public health at the U of L, we received some funding to do a study to find out how much people are actually using the parks and what they think about them. So over the course of a year, we observed the parks. I had a number of students that got a summer job hanging out in parks, counting people using fitness equipment. And we also interviewed 140 people that were in the park and that lived in the neighborhood surrounding some of these active parks. And what we found out is that people really like the idea. Exactly as you said, it's a free outdoor gym that makes it very accessible for all kinds of people. It's fun to work out outside, and so there's lots of benefits that people see. The reality was not that many people were actually using it. So we took some of the information that we gathered and then partnered again with our community organizations for the development of this park in Nicholas Sharon, which is actually relatively new and has only been open for about a year. So based on our research, we picked the equipment very carefully. We had a launch with lots of advertising and marketing, because what we heard from people was that they didn't know really what to do with the equipment or what it was for. And we had trainers on site to give demonstrations. I had some of my students at the U of L in kinesiology design workouts using this equipment specifically, and that's available for everyone online. And then, as you're going to hear from Allison later, we also offered some free classes for people that were really well attended.
How can people access those instructions online?
Those are on the Active Lethbridge website. It's activelethbridge.ca, and there's a link about how to use an outdoor park, and there's a link to those as well.
So a big part of the success is really just getting the word out and maybe steadily promoting that it's here, so more people will find out, start using it, and then keep using it.
Yeah, I think people are sometimes maybe intimidated by it. They're not sure what to do. And so I think if people give it a try, perhaps even just attend one or two of the classes or look at the workouts online, they'll see that it's actually really fun and a great way to get a great workout in. And on a day like today, who wouldn't rather be outside than in a gym?
And there's nothing to sum it up better than that. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And next up, we're going to be talking with Allison Pilsner, who is with the college's Be Fit for Life Center, and we're going to find out about how some people are coming out here and giving free classes on how to use this equipment. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. We're here at the outdoor gym at Nicholas Sharon Park with Allison Pilsner. Allison is Program Administrator at Lethbridge College's Be Fit for Life Center. And while we've been talking about this wonderful free facility, some people may, if they know it's here, they still may be intimidated and not understand how to use it. There's diagrams, but that doesn't work for everybody. But that's where Allison can come to the rescue. Allison, tell us about what's happening.
You bet. So through the Lethbridge College Be Fit for Life and the City of Lethbridge, we've sort of partnered, and we're offering free fitness classes to anybody in the community to come and try out the park or the gym. And the benefits of that is that we're going to have an instructor here showing you how to use the equipment and taking you through a workout that's going to work your entire body.
That's amazing. You started already?
Yes. So we started in June. So we've had 2 classes that have been pretty well attended with 10 people in each.
Why offer free classes?
So we're offering free classes because we want people to be able to use this space and not feel intimidated by it. So it's not something that we're trying to make money on. We want people to use the space. That's what we have it here for. Also, not everyone can afford a gym membership, or maybe they don't have childcare. So you can bring your kids, you can bring your family, work out as a family, or let the kids play at the kids park while you're here working out. So
that's just perfect. what are the benefits then of the classes, and what kind of feedback have you had?
Okay, we've had amazing feedback. Everyone that has, I've been to a couple of the classes, and we've got great feedback in regards to the education they're getting on how to use the equipment, but also too on the workout. They're getting a great workout. Everyone's kind of sore the next day in a good way, which is really good as well. The benefits are we're showing a lot of different exercises. So not only are you going to get a cardiovascular workout, but you're going to get some muscular strength, work through that core a little bit. And then also we have a stretching station that we're showing how to use as well. So we're getting all those components in fitness.
Wow, really thorough. So you have certified instructors teaching?
Yes. So my instructors teaching the classes are all certified, very knowledgeable, very friendly, and a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And do people have to worry about what if they have no fitness level whatsoever starting out?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Sherry. Anybody can come and attend these classes. Like I said, pretty much any age can come and do this as long as children are supervised by an adult. But you do not have to have any fitness background. You can come in if you haven't been doing much over the last little while. This is a good place to get started.
Any place is a good place to start.
Any place is a great place to start.
Thank you for sharing this. There's no excuse anymore.
You're right. You're right. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for providing this. And up next, we're going to take you a little ways over from where we are in the park, and we're going to go into the community orchard. Many people don't know that it exists, but we're going to show you the fruit that's growing there that is actually for the community and tell you some more interesting things. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Health Matters. I'm Sherry Gallant with Alberta Health Services. We are still at beautiful Nicholas Sharon Park, and it's a glorious day. We've moved to the Edible Orchard, which may be new to you, and there's so many wonderful things about it. I'm talking today with Heather Mather. She is a registered dietitian, a public health dietitian with nutrition services at Lethbridge Community Health. And welcome, Heather.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Tell us about the Edible Orchard. What is it, and what types of trees and how many were planted?
Well, yeah, this is an exciting project. In 2014, we, Healthy Lethbridge, partnered with the City of Lethbridge, Sustainable Lethbridge, and School District 51 Poverty Intervention Committee. And with funding from Tree Canada, we were able to plant the first ever edible orchard in Lethbridge. So there's 31 varieties of fruit trees planted here at the Edible Orchard, and it's available for anyone to harvest from once the fruit. There's quite a bit of fruit right now I can see growing on the trees. Yeah. And yeah, lots of varieties of different apples to choose from, the cold hardy cherry trees. So they're not sweet cherries like from BC, but we can grow cherries here, which is great. Some pear trees and some plum trees are here.
That's amazing. So I can envision if you're walking through the park or maybe playing some disc golf and you happen upon the orchard and you're thirsty, you could grab an apple.
Yeah, you've got a snack right here if you forgot to pack a snack and a healthy snack. So yeah, Tree Canada, this is part of their funding to increase free access to food in public places. So it's a neat funding project from Tree Canada that we were able to tap into.
That's amazing. You mentioned the cherries, the type of cherries that may not be like BC cherries, but they're the type that will survive our weather.
Yeah.
What other kind of perennial edibles will grow well here?
Well, there's lots. You know, you'll see even if you go down to the coulees, some choke cherry varieties. Choke cherries are really drought resistant, so they do well here in this climate. And the city has planted some throughout the parks and in the city. And a lot of people don't realize there's probably about over 1,800 edibles planted throughout the city in the parks, along the trails, downtown. There's some pear trees planted downtown. People may not have noticed some of those. So there's a lot of, crab apple trees and pear trees, apple trees, and cherry trees too, planted throughout the city. So take note when you're on a walk, take a look up above, and you'll notice them in the spring with the blossoms on the trees too. Some of them are ornamental cherries, but we planted too with Healthy Lethbridge and the City of Lethbridge and the Connect Group some Saskatoon bushes at the Lakeview Park, where there also is some outdoor gym equipment. And there's honeyberries too planted at that park. So those are bushes, and it's close to the outdoor gym at the Lakeview Park. And then the city recently put some fruit bushes too at their new outdoor gym equipment at the Sugar Bowl. So something else to check out.
That's amazing. I've never heard of a honeyberry before. What do they look like?
Yeah, they're like a blueberry or a Saskatoon, but they're more oval shaped, and they also do well in our cold climates.
So the benefits seem clear, but maybe you can sort of articulate what the benefits are to having these things in our city.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of research with community gardens and gardeners will increase their vegetable fruit intake, but in particular, community gardens, there's some research from the Journal of Public Health that shows that community gardeners eat even more vegetables and fruits than a backyard gardener would. So, and just, that social connection of having it out in the public too, and it's visible too. So it's that whole, norm of eating healthy and having healthy, supportive environments, having that fruit available to eat, and not French fries and potato chips.
Right, it makes it so easy and accessible.
Sends a good message, and free,
which is always good. Mm-hmm. What supports does AHS Nutrition Services have for people who may want to increase their intake of things like this?
Well, there is the Community Garden Handbook, Community Gardens Handbook from AHS. It's on the Healthy Eating Starts Here website, and there's some good tips in there. It's mainly for people who want to start a community garden or a school garden, but there's some good tips on there, how to harvest your produce and canning your produce. There's tips on growing. There's tips on what grows well in Alberta, tips on composting too. So beyond the community garden kind of concept, there's some great information there. And then also on the Healthy Eating Starts Here website, there's some great recipes for using your garden produce. They have recipes for zucchini muffins or rhubarb muffins, fruit kebabs, a fruit crisp. So check those recipes out. They're great, easy recipes and delicious recipes to try.
I can attest to that. It's a wonderful site. The recipes are great.
Yeah.
We'll put the link up for people too. Thank you very much, Heather. Always a wonderful fountain of information.
Okay, thanks, Sherry.
Next up, we're going to find out some things about the Community Cancer Prevention and Screening Dashboard. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are at Nicholas Sharon Park in beautiful sunny Lethbridge on a glorious day. And I am here right now with Medical Officer of Health in the South Zone, Dr. Karen Goodison, and Megan Braun. Megan is a health promotion facilitator with Population, Public and Indigenous Health, and we are going to talk about the Community Cancer Prevention and Screening Dashboard. If you didn't know about it before, you will know about it now. Megan, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
What is the purpose of the Community Cancer Prevention and Screening Dashboard? What is it?
So we know that about 45% of cancer in Alberta is related to factors that we can change. And so the factors such as how active we are, what we eat, how much alcohol we drink, and whether or not we get screened. There's a growing realization that changing many of these factors requires community-based action, and that by doing community-based action, we make it easier for everyone in the community to reduce their risk and make healthier choices. Communities told us that they want to work together to reduce cancer, but they didn't know where to start. And so the dashboard gives them really useful information that will help them plan and evaluate local community action.
Okay, how did this project come to be?
A lot of the community data that they wanted and needed was available but difficult to find. So the dashboard makes it easy for anyone to put in their postal code, and then they can quickly access information such as their smoking rates or their uptake of cancer screening, and literally dozens of other factors that reduce cancer risk.
This sounds really interesting. You could get lost in it probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of data there, but we tried to make it as easily navigatable as we could. And another piece of it is that communities can compare their information to similar communities across Alberta. So that's another piece of the dashboard.
Okay, awesome. Karen, how do you think the dashboard will be used?
Well, already we know that the last count I think was 3,753 hits, so we're above that now. So I think people are going to go in and look at it from their own personal perspective as well as their community perspective. So as Megan was saying, they can go in and look at, what are the rates of cancer in their community, what are the rates of smoking in their community, and what they can do as both an individual and a community to change those rates. So it's a really great interactive dashboard that really we hope can get communities taking action to improve their own health.
Okay, and We talk about people accessing it. How do they access it?
Well, it's really easy to access. I was just in there this morning because I think it's really valuable for me too, working in public health. I mean, I was able to go in this morning and find out, for example, that Lethbridge is doing an awesome job with things like breast cancer screening, but not such an awesome job for cervical cancer screening. So that can tell me that, you know what, go in and, you know, let's get our Pap test done, Lethbridge. So if people want to go in and take a look, what I did was just Googled Alberta Prevents Cancer, and you can go in there, you can find out all sorts of links to other community cancer prevention information, as well as get into that actual website that tells you your numbers, your statistics for your community.
That's really interesting. Will it be expanded in the days going forward?
Yes, this is just the beginning. The dashboard will expand to include other health outcomes as well as risk factors of interest to community, so stay tuned.
Wonderful. Thank you for bringing this to us today in the sunshine. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we will be finding out some things about preventing injury. As we've said so many times today, it's a beautiful day. That's when people come outside, and that's when they engage in activities that could be dangerous if they're not properly prepared. Welcome back. We're at Nicholas Sharon Park, and now we're speaking with Andrea Clausen. Andrea is a health promotion facilitator with Community Health in Lethbridge. And when the weather gets lovely like this, people come out and they do things. Sometimes they do silly things. So we want to talk about injury prevention. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
What are some safety tips for this summer around the easy ones, bike helmet and bike safety?
So starting with bike safety, in Alberta it is actually law for anyone under the age of 18 to wear a bike helmet. However, parents and adults can be good role models, and we really encourage them to wear helmets even though it isn't the law that they have to wear one. We want them to be wearing helmets as well. When it comes to wearing the helmets, we want to ensure that they fit properly, and then when they are fitting their helmet, we follow the 2V1 rule. So that's 2 fingers above the forehead, a V around the ears, and 1 finger underneath the chin. And then after that, we want to ensure if they are riding around town that they are using the proper hand signals, and that they are obeying the rules of the road as well.
Okay, if the little ones are in a bike carrier, do they still have to wear helmets?
Absolutely, yeah. We see a lot of parents not putting helmets on their kids in a bike carrier or bike trailer. They are not exempt from wearing that helmet. They are under the age of 18, so they have to have that helmet on. And once again, if that parent is pulling that trailer, just because they might be going a little bit slower because they have a carrier or trailer on there, they should still be wearing a helmet to protect their head.
Okay, and so if they're on their bike and they come here to the park, maybe they'll go over to that beautiful playground. What are some playground safety tips we can talk about?
So when it comes to playground safety, we want to ensure that they are, your children are using the playground that is for their age and stage of development. We don't want them to be on playground equipment that's too large, especially if they're younger, and we want to ensure that you're always supervising your children, staying within reach of them, and watching them so that they aren't falling off. As we know, that's one of the major rates of injury is falls within children under the age of 5.
Okay, so they shouldn't wear helmets on playground equipment, but they should wear shoes. Why?
So shoes are really important because, especially with public equipment, we can get glass on the equipment, we can have other foreign objects. We want to ensure that they are wearing those shoes, that they're doing up their shoes so that those laces aren't in the way to prevent any falls that could happen. As well as don't wear a helmet. So as soon as you get there, if you are riding your bike, take that helmet off. Anything that's loose, drawstrings, helmets that are undone, even helmets that are done up. Long hair, scarves, anything like that can get caught on that equipment. The last thing we want is them to be injured because they are caught and they can't move and get off of something that they're going to get hurt on.
Okay, and I know here we have a beautiful lake, but it's not for swimming, but there are lots of places to swim in the summer. Let's talk a little bit about water safety.
So now with all the outdoor pools getting open, we want to ensure, even if you have a pool in your backyard, that you are staying within reach of your children. If you have a pool that's in your backyard, ensure you have proper fencing. So the fencing should be at least 4 feet tall and have a self-latching gate on it. As well, stay within reach of your child. Ensure your child knows to wear a life jacket if they aren't comfortable swimming. And even if they are a little bit more comfortable swimming, ensure they're taking swimming lessons so that they know the proper ways to swim around, and so that they can, be safe within that water too.
And even if they are properly equipped with their life jackets or whatever, should you ever step away?
No, you shouldn't. You should always keep active supervision of your child and ensure that you keep them within sight and even within reach. And it kind of depends on their age. As they get older, obviously, they feel a little bit more confident, but ensure that you are staying within reach of them.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Wonderful time of year. We just want to enjoy it and stay safe. And speaking of bicycle safety and bicycles, did you know that there are places in Lethbridge where you can stop and fix your bicycle? Earlier this week we spoke with someone about these bicycle stations, these bicycle repair stations, and we'll bring you more about that coming up next.
Oh, here we go. The haunting sound of an infant with whooping cough. Alberta Health Services is reporting an outbreak of whooping cough in southern Alberta. Dr. Vivian Satorp said in June approximately 38 cases were reported.
We know that with whooping cough, if there are 38 cases, there are probably many more out there, because really the kids we often will find out about because they get quite sick. A lot of older children and adults may have mild disease. I think another update is that in Medicine Hat now we've had a number of cases as well. We're unable to identify a clear linkage to this outbreak, but we're also seeing increasing numbers there as well. As we've spoken about previously, is that southern Alberta and also in central Alberta, we have seen an increased rate of whooping cough over the last 3 years. And again, the outbreak here in southwest is taking off quickly.
A website has been launched to keep the public informed about the outbreak.
Alberta Health Services has posted a website that's available externally for everybody to view, and there will be updates twice weekly on the pertussis case numbers from across the province. And it's also, people can view the number linked to an outbreak. It also has some good resource information and guidance for parents and adults on immunization and how to prevent further spread. There's a lot of information that's gone out through schools, just general information to physician offices, to midwives. We'll be going out to pharmacies as well, just to provide information to general public that as we're entering this outbreak and it's taking off quickly, to remember to be proactive about this. Immunization is safe and effective. Please ensure that you and your children are up to date with immunization.
Satorp says there may be early warning signs your child has whooping cough.
Whooping cough is quite an interesting disease and how it manifests itself. The first symptoms really are very similar to viral respiratory illnesses: a runny nose, a low-grade fever, and maybe a mild cough. Following about 4, 5, 6 days, that cough is persistent. So the other symptoms go away, but there's a persistent cough. In children, they may have that whooping after a big coughing spell, and it's those really incredible coughing spells that cause a lot of the distress. That may last a week or two, and then it enters sort of the final stage, or convalescent stage, which we call it, and that may be weeks to months of that ongoing cough, which slowly decreases over time. The very young children are at risk sort of after those first number of days when they have those significant coughing spells of severe complications. That may include pneumonia, very difficult breathing, seizures, and death. And again, a reminder that there was a child here in the local area who died of whooping cough in 2012.
For more information on whooping cough, visit the Outbreak website. For Health Matters, I'm Fallon Wagner.
Hey, we're here at the Lethbridge Public Library, the downtown branch, and we're here with Craig Churchward. Craig is with Bike Bridge, and we're going to tell you all about these exciting new bike repair stations. There's 2 of them in town. Both of them are attached to our beautiful libraries. Welcome, Craig.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, first of all, a little bit what is Bike Bridge?
Sure. Bike Bridge is a local advocacy group for cycling, safe cycling in Lethbridge.
Okay, and so in a little bit you're going to demonstrate with the unit, with the station over here, how it works. But first of all, can you just give us a bit of a rundown on what types of tools are attached to this station?
For sure. So we've got a couple of Phillips screwdrivers. We have a stubby and a long. We have a stubby and a long flathead screwdriver. We have an adjustable wrench. There's Torx Allen keys on there, as well as hex keys. So all the stuff to do basic bicycle maintenance.
So what basic bicycle maintenance, what would that involve? What kinds of repairs can you actually do here?
Well, you could change a flat tire here. You can adjust your derailleurs to switch the gears. You could adjust your brakes, everything to get you back on the road.
Okay, mm-hmm. so it's like if you have a bike that needs repair, you can just drive it over here and repair it. Or if you're actually on the road and you have a breakdown and you're nearby, you could walk it over here and fix it up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you want to give us a little demonstration?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go and do that.
I'll show you a couple of the tools, actually all the tools on the stand. So we have just your regular hex Allen keys here. We also have the Torx wrench here, a bunch of different sizes. And those would be for like tightening disc brake rotors and that sort of thing on the bicycle. We also have a couple of slotted screwdrivers. So we have a long and a short. And then a handy adjustable wrench as well on that side. So on this side here, we've got another wrench here, 15 mil on one side and 13 on the other. We also have a long Phillips screwdriver and a stubby as well. And of course, last but not least, we've got 2 tire levers, and we'll be showing you how to use these today. You want to have put this bike up on the stand and show you how that works. So we'll put this Kona up here, and it just sits. Put the seat post between these 2 bars, and it just sits right on the rails of the seat. And so now this will allow you to troubleshoot any problems you have with the bicycle. So you can freely spin the pedals now and shift the gears, make sure those are working well. And if you need to have a tool, they're all right at your disposal here. So Allen keys as well as Phillips. So Phillips could be adjusting your rear derailleur. You could also maybe have some loose bearings here. You would have the ability to tighten those with your Allen key as well. So it's really nice to have a stand so you're able to troubleshoot the bike, and all the tools are at your disposal to get you back on the road. Okay, I'm just going to talk about one common thing that may happen to somebody who is cycling is a flat tire. So let's quickly show how we can use these tools to change flat tire. So we got a tire lever here, and I'm just going to stick it underneath the bead of the tire, and I'm going to run it all the way down, just to get that bead away from the rim. And once you crack that bead, you can usually use your hand for the rest. And so we'll pretend this is a bad tube, and we'll just take that right out. Okay, and now we'll also pretend it's also the good tube. So here's a good tube. We've already blown it up, and we'll put it back in. We're going to slide that bead over top, and we're just going to push the tube back into the tire like that. And we'll slide in the bead into the rim. Okay, just like so. Okay, so we're in there. And so now also at this station we have a pump with a pressure gauge. And I would look at the side of your tire just to make sure that we're not overinflating. So this tire has stamped on there 30 to 50 psi max. I'll go to the minimum 30. Now this pump will have 2 different heads on it for 2 different valve stems. So one's for Schrader valve and one's for a Presta valve. So we have a Presta valve today, so we'll pump it up with the Presta valve side. So we'll put that on there. And then we'll just lock it in place with this lever here. And this is a foot action pump, so I'll try to make it so you can see what's going on. And then you simply pump it up like that. And I won't do it all the way, but that's essentially how it would work.
So we've just learned something about how these amazing and handy bike repair stations work, and now we're going to find out from the horse's mouths, so to speak, how they came to be. We're here with Tara Plato, CEO of the Lethbridge Public Library, Megan Burland, who is past president of Healthy Lethbridge, and Dave Ellis, who is our city parks manager. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
So, Dave, tell us the role that the City Parks Department played in bringing these two bike repair stations into being.
Well, we had an idea presented to us, and we thought it was a great idea, so we helped out where we could.
Was that financially, or?
We helped financially a little bit, and we installed them when they were shipped. So.
Okay, and was there any challenges involved in installing them, or did everything go pretty smoothly?
Well, it went pretty smoothly. I mean, we had to decide exactly where they were going, and then it's just a matter of bolting them down and getting them placed.
And so it's a nice marriage to have the City Parks Department with healthy initiatives that people can do for free outdoors, I suppose.
Oh, it is. Parks is a great place. You know, if you want to talk generally, we've got the pathways and a lot of fitness equipment through the parks and open space where different activities can happen. So the bike repair stations at the library was a great partnership, and we were more than happy to get involved with that.
Fantastic, thank you. Megan, tell us about something about Healthy Lethbridge and what their role was in all of this.
Sure, so Healthy Lethbridge is a society here in Lethbridge, and we aim to provide physical activity opportunities that are accessible for all in Lethbridge and the surrounding area. So we have many different organizations across Lethbridge involved in Healthy Lethbridge. The city is one of them, the library is another one, and so we're all about forming those partnerships, working together to provide accessible opportunities for people who are wanting to get physically active in Lethbridge.
And I think that's the key word, isn't it? Accessible.
Yes, exactly. And the library is an excellent place to provide these opportunities because it's a place that people are already used to coming to. They feel safe at, obviously accessible. We have the repair stations at the West Side location and here downtown, so it was the perfect opportunity for us to be involved as well.
Awesome, thank you. Tara, tell us, the stations are at the library. How did that come to be, and how's that working?
Well, it was actually the idea of one of our managers, and for various reasons. The library, we want to promote healthy, active living, and we do that in a number of ways. But we're a destination place too. We know that people come to the library using all sorts of transportation, all forms of it, and we want to make that an attractive thing for people to be able to do, is to come here on their bike if they want to. So we provide bike lockers, and we also provide the bike repair stations.
Have you seen a lot of people coming and using them, and have you heard much feedback?
We had a little bit of a delay with the first one. We did have we had to replace some of the tools to begin with, so we're just sort of relaunching the one at the main branch now. But certainly we have a lot of people who come here on bikes, and even if you're not actually coming to the library, if you're around the downtown or the Crossings area on the west side, you can just stop in and use the stations to, get your bike going again. And that's what we want to do, is be a community resource for people. Even if you're not coming here, stop in on the way and use the repair stations.
Awesome, thank you all. It's just a great example of what a healthy and active city we live in, and the wonderful partnerships that we have with City Parks, Healthy Lethbridge, and Alberta Health Services, and the public library. So many ways that you can be active, have fun, do it with yourself, your family, your friends. Everybody can do it, and it really doesn't cost anything. That's been today's edition of Health Matters. Thank you so much for being with us, and hope to see you again.